Hey everybody! This time around we are drawing a butterfly fish. Butterfly fish is of course an ocean animal. I do have a finished one and what it's going to look like here at the end that I did in pen. Just kind of showcasing a different material and how you can do a successful drawing in a different material. And we'll follow these same steps if you are interested in working in the pen. But starting off with a circle, we got a triangle for the snout, and your eye is going to be really quite close to the edge of your circle. Your back fin, or the tail, you can just start out by making a little square or a rectangle. And then we're going to have a really big arch up here for the dorsal fin. You want it to go at a slight angle. And then I'm just going to kind of block in a couple of these lines. These swoops are what's going to make it look really quite interesting and give it some life. So make sure you are including them within your drawing. That front jagged part. And the back, of course, is smooth. And your bottom fin is going to come down to about roughly the middle of your fish, middle of that circle that you created. And again, you'll have some flatter areas, but you're going to come up. 1, 2, 3. I'll have 3 little swoops. And my pelvic fin. And I'm going to have just a hint of the fin on the other side, so just kind of block that in if you want. All my lines right now extremely light because I'll be editing as I go. This is my pectoral fin in the middle here. Again, just blocking everything in. Okay, at this point I need to start defining my edges. Since I drew everything in pencil lightly, I can erase, and since I'm not switching materials, I just need to edit from here. Alright, so I need to make this more sloping on the front of the body, down to the top of my snout, and it's going to go just slightly peeking over a little bit, and it's not going to be quite as big as I initially made it. I'm going to erase some of these extra lines still. And this back here, I'm going to help define a little bit. That section where it connects to the tail. I'm not going to have it quite as dramatic as I initially had it, so I'm going to straighten it out just a hair and define my spikes. So I'm making those darker. I'm also going to make the tops darker as well, but these ones need to swoop a little bit. So it's not going to be exactly straight like it was in the original line. You do have this big circle in the back here. And we'll be filling that in relatively dark. It's almost as though it's a camouflage, like a fake eye for our fish, our butterfly fish, when the real eye is up here, and it's actually going to be even closer. Got it a little too far away, so I'm going to edit that just a hair and make that nice and dark. And the eye is actually hidden by one of the stripes within the fish, so I can block that in here quick. And my nice back circle, that pretends to be an eye. Both very, very dark. But of course you don't want to forget that highlight, or at least have a hint of a lighter aspect to it. So up here, slightly lighter. All right, I'm gonna give some personality to my tail. So give it a little more definition, coming in and connecting to my bottom fin. Again, slightly straighter, similar to what I did up top. Coming around, and I'm going to define almost little spines. All right. From here, it's all going to be shading. Make sure you get the various stripes included within your fish. Fish, 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 fish. So you're going to have light shading and dark shading, and that's where the life is going to come into your drawing. So as I'm working, I'm going to get rolling up here and kind of block in where I know this line and this stripe is going to be. Because I know that one comes up. I'm going to erase my edge lines since that's no longer included in my fish. My butterflyfish. And block in some of these details. Notice how I'm following along with my object. And then I'm going to go in with some light shading to help give it some dimension. So I'm not pressing hard with my pencil at all as I'm doing these edges. And since this is a stripe, I'm going to fill it in relatively dark. My edges are going to be a little bit darker so it can be slightly more pronounced. Really stand out for me. Just using basic shading, so filling it in relatively solid. When you do these little spines, I'd recommend making them relatively dark around the bottom. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pull up on your lines. So I start at the bottom. That's going to give you some values and variation and the highlight at the top. Easy, quick. And you do want to define the top as well, since we are just working in pencil. Same thing on the bottom, just not quite as pronounced. All right. Since my fish right now, so I have one little fishy here and one little fishy here, my butterfly fish isn't going to take up a huge, significant part of my page. But the thing about fish is that they generally move in schools. And the more you practice, remember, the better you get. So if you did choose to draw along with me here, I would really encourage you to make multiple fish. Make multiples, get some practice in. Remember, the more you practice, the better you get. And you can get just absolutely dynamite with these little fish because they do go quite fast. They're not overly complex. Remember, you can always look at different images different reference photos. That's going to help you on your artistic journey. Different photos will give you different references. Maybe they're in a different motion. And that can always make your artwork more visually interesting. So there's lots of different options. But for our particular drawing, I'm finishing up my bottom fins here. So remember, these are my pelvic fins, and just a hint at the ones on the other side. And then I'm going to plot in my middle stripe. That's a camouflage for my fish. Fish, fish, fish. And I'm almost done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do a few more of these and really fill up my page, make it dynamic. I'll probably go in with a blending stump and get rid of some of my grainy aspects that I do have because I'm using just a regular pencil right now. But you have a butterfly fish. I hope this video was helpful. If you were able to draw along with me, make sure to give the video a like so I know it was successful for you. And I hope it was. Thanks for watching.